I stumbled upon that Sleaze List that my good friend Tony Khan wrote all by himself on the Death Valley driver board. I'm going to read it for you, pals. 1. Kevin Sullivan spends his vacations at a nudist colony. Take that image through the day. 2. Tommy Rich soaked his balls in a beer mug full of hydrogen peroxide. 3. Roddy Piper having a young manservant type who travels with him wherever he goes, holding his bags, opening doors for him, etc. Piper and others referring to the young boy as cocksucker, like it's his name. 4. Tommy Rich did some favors for Jim Barnett in exchange for the NWA World title. 5. They had to break Bruiser Brody's legs to fit him in a cheap Puerto Rican casket. 6. Virgil got a job by unleashing his hose on Pat Patterson's desk. 7. Kerry Von Erich really had his foot amputated because he thought he could walk across a room on his just surgically repaired foot for a cheeseburger, thus crushing it. 8. NWA World Champion Gene Kiniski bought Kevin Von Erich a hooker in Las Vegas when Kevin was 12-9. A coked-up Kerry and Kevin were once playing with a saw blade in the back hallways at the Sportatorium. Kerry saw a cat, so he threw the saw blade at the cat, killing it. 10. Kerry Von Erich sees a cat in the All Japan locker room. He decides to put the iron claw on it, killing the poor kitty. 11. Steve Lombardi was Pat Patterson's secret lover. 12. Rock and Roll Express walk in on Jimmy Valiant laying on the floor, jerking off under a glass table that a hooker is shitting on. Ricky throws up and leaves while Robert stays to watch. 13. Bruce Hart was a substitute teacher while a top face / promoter / booker in Stampede. He impregnated a 14-year-old student and married her. 14. Dusty Rhodes got Baby Doll fired or something because he was pissed that she married near jobber Sam Houston instead of him. 15. According to Japanese tabloids, Giant Baba was bisexual and Genichiro Tenryu had penis enlargement surgery. 16. Victor Quinones tried to rape Tarzan Boy at gunpoint in a bathroom stall. He did rape some rookie Japanese wrestler at gunpoint in a bathroom stall. 17. Chris Champion went to jail for inappropriately touching an underage girl while he was wearing his Cowabunga the Ninja Turtle costume. 18. El Dandies banged both Lita and Fishman and Lola Gonzalez's hot daughter. 19. Manny Fernandez took a dump in number 1 Paul Jones' brand new Stetson hat, put it back in the hat box on the airplane like nothing happened, and went to sit back by Jones for the remainder of the flight. 20. Dusty Rhodes booked Rick Steiner to beat Ric Flair in 20 seconds at Starrcade 1988. 21. Superstar Graham once injected Clorox on a dare. 22. Gangrel and Luna are swingers and love to swap out with other couples. 23. Paul Boesch was doing a Jewish champion gimmick somewhere. New York. A writer from a Jewish magazine came to a show to do a profile on him. The writer wandered into the locker room after Boesch's match and saw him in the shower. Thus, the writer found out Boesch wasn't really Jewish. 24. Jimmy Snuka killed his girlfriend and played the innocent savage in front of the police while Vince did the talking for him. 25. Raven got caught in a hotel room with Becky Bayless at age 14, and Becky slept with Joel Gertner and his wife. 26. Rip Rogers pulled Barry Windham's keys out of a commode filled with shit, and Jack Daniels after a particularly hard night of partying with his bare hands. 27. At an indie show, Sabu had oral sex on one of the valets in the locker room, but when one of the other wrestlers asked him if it was good, he said something along the lines of, "Smell my mustache." 28. There was this dude called John Arezzi who hosted a radio show and did some promoting. He promoted a A-AA tour around the U.S. and insisted on using Woman as a manager for Psychosis because he used to be in love with her. Conan was booking Baja California, and since he was friends with Woman from ECW, he got her to do a small tour around Tijuana, Mexicali. After a Tijuana show, everybody went back to their rooms. The Tijuana guys just stayed at home. Conan shared a room with his buddies, and Woman had her own room. Very late, in the midnight, somebody started screaming and pounding hard on Conan's door. He opened the door, and it was a half-naked Nancy Sullivan, whose face was a mess. They let her in, and she told them that she got high with metal and they were about to fuck, but he was so fucking wasted that he couldn't get it up from all the shit he'd been doing all day. So, he started biting her ass really hard. She hit him in the face with something to get him off. He then hit her back, and she just escaped as soon as she could. At the time, Conan was scared because he didn't want to get on Pena's backside by having an argument with Metal, and he was afraid it would cost him his WCW job if this got to Sullivan. Years later, I told him if Sullivan had found about it, he'd probably have gone down Mexico and cut Metal's balls off. He then said, not really, he probably beats her up even worse. 29. Butch Reed is pissed on the carpet and/or furniture of every motel he's ever stayed in. 30. Johnny Valentine would take a dump and strategically place it where it couldn't be found easily, like the inside of bedposts. 31. Shawn Michaels supposedly invited 3 hot girls back to his hotel room. He told them to all get naked and get on their knees. He whips out his ding-dong and the girls figure it's going to be a suck fest, but instead he proceeds to take a piss in each of their mouths. 32. Bruiser Brody was supposed to do a shoot run-in on the first WrestleMania. 33. Hogan vs. Zeus was supposed to headline WrestleMania 6. 34. The Iron Sheik was offered $100K to break Hogan's legs instead of dropping the belt to him. 35. Apparently, after Lawler first arrived in the good old WWF, a lot of people disliked him for his general arrogant attitude. Hall, Nash, and Michaels didn't take to this too well, so at one of the Royal Rumbles, Lawler left his crown in the dressing room to do the Rumble. So the Kliq decided to shit in his crown. But apparently this wasn't like a couple of turds in the crown. They apparently filled King's precious crown to the brim with a nice hearty Kliq shit. 36. Matt Stryker had a 3-way with Mace and Buff E backstage at a JPW show in 2002-37. Taka Michinoku fucked Sonny while Candido watched. 38. Scott Hall took a dump in Sonny's lunch on a tour of Germany in the spring of 1996. 39. Jushin Liger likes to loan out his wife to folks like Sasuke, Taka, and Hayabusa. He may also like to watch. 40. Buff Bagwell broke into wrestling by blowing Burt Prentice. Then Ronnie P. Gossett paid to blow Bagwell. I'm going to end it there for the moment, goddammit. That was hard to read.